haben wir für Zeit?
Ich weiß nicht. Fangen wir an. Wir haben jetzt Zeit, Brudi. We have now time.
Ja, einfach, dass wir weißt, denke
Ja. Deswegen gehe ich aber das Handy irgendwo hier liegen.
oh, vorher.
Vorher sitzen Sie. Sit vorher. Sit. Alright.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Hi and welcome to the Boundary Talk. This is the podcast where you can improve the art of your boundaries so you can live a life that really matters to you, align with your values, and you can learn to protect your time and your energy. So let's go.
Let's go.
So, my boundary buddy.
Yeah, what's today's topic?
Today's topic is we talk about boundaries at work.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh.
you want to dig in?
Yeah, man, let's freaking go, because that's a topic that matters right now to us a lot.
For both of us, yes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, in which way does it matter to you right now? Describe the experiences you're going through.
Okay, so yeah, since we started doing the podcast and also defining our vision, which is to build something global, you know, in more than 150 countries, we knew that we are not going to do this alone. We knew that we will need people that have the same drive for the vision that we put together. And so basically 2 weeks ago we started doing the first interviews with people, really filling up our pool of experts for different states of awareness about boundaries, how to work with them, but also depending on where someone stays in general. And that's why we started interviewing people. And for me, right now, we are at a point where this thing gets more and more momentum. And with this momentum, new tasks arise that I've never done before. For an example, really delegating tasks to people, because for the past 7 years I've been a solopreneur and I did everything on my own, and so I never had to really give off tasks. But now I know, with that big of a vision that we have, we need the people force. We need the people that are going on the same vision. And so that's why I'm finally starting to learn to give off certain tasks. And for me, that's all about boundaries at work. I need to have clear boundaries about my time, about my energy, about the capacity of work that I can do, and so much more. And it's really just a new journey for myself, which is why it's a topic that matters a lot to me right now. How would you describe your experience so far before we dive in a lot deeper, I'd say?
Pretty similar to yours. So, I'm learning right now to really focus on the task that really moves the needle for our institute. So, it's also a space I have to create for myself to schedule my week. I'm functioning like this in the best way. So when I'm scheduling my week at a Sunday, for example, or at Monday for the whole week until Friday or Saturday, then I'm really focusing on these few things, maybe one thing, maybe 2 or 3 things, which, like I said, really moves the needle, really brings us the momentum we need right now. And for this one, I have to set boundaries, because every time I'm getting distracted from something or someone, but I'm in a focus time, in a deep dive time, then I haven't time for anything else. So when I scheduled, for example, 1.5 hours for deep work, for research, for social media, the whole thing, then I'm doing this, nothing else. So it's not only a boundary to others, it's also a boundary to myself, because then I'm using my whole energy and my time for this one tasks I schedule for myself. So when I'm getting distracted, I really have to learn and set my internal boundaries to refocus on the one thing that I have to do right now. So I think for me, at this time right now, is the boundary setting internally the most not difficult part, but the part where I can learn the most from.
No, yeah.
So that I didn't get distracted anymore, less than before.
Yeah.
So I can use my whole energy and my whole time on this one thing that really brings us the momentum and really moves the needle.
That brings something to my mind, if I can mention that right now. So basically, I have this one question following me right now, in that process that you just described, and for me, it's how can I be more efficient? How can I be more efficient with my time, with my labor, with the work I do? And because I'm not a person that really functions in a calendar way, I'm not planning the next 2 weeks fully ahead because that kind of stresses my being. I'm like, "Oh, I don't have enough time to really breathe and also be creative and go with the flow." But I also, we have plannings, we have a lot of stuff ahead. But for me, it's really that questions that drives me forward and that also lets me go with the flow, but also be more efficient. So when I ask myself, how can I be more efficient? And I know, for an example, now we need a copywriter. We need people that really are specialized in the marketing part, but also that help us bring our book from version 1.0. We just brought it out because our other team partner, he was like, better out than perfect, which is why you see fuck perfect over there, because we are such perfectionists, and knowing that we are perfectionists and it can stop our progress and stop our efficiency. Now I'm really asking myself all the time, how can I be more efficient?
I have a tool for this for you.
Yeah, please, man,
I'm
share.
right now learning this because I got it from Brandon Burchard on his Growth Day app.
Yeah.
I use this app every day, and he always teaches a simple idea of Friday finisher.
The Friday finisher.
And it sounds really great, and it's also great because when he plans his week at a Sunday or at a Monday, like I said, then he write down 3 to 5 tasks that he has to be done until Friday 5 p.m.
Ooh.
And it doesn't matter if it's not gonna happen, you have to do it. And when it takes until Saturday noon, then it has to be.
No.
But you have to do the work until it's finished on these few tasks you set on the start of the week. And
wow.
I like this idea because
cool.
you give your week a really a goal.
Yeah.
You know, it's a goal you can work towards.
Yeah.
So it really matters to you then because you set this for you.
It's about integrity, right?
Exactly. You said it. You make this and this task, and until Friday p.m. or Saturday noon, doesn't matter. It has to be done until the end of this week. So you know also for yourself that you did move the needle. You did work on things that matters for the project, for yourself maybe. It also could be something for you.
Yeah.
You know, not only for the business.
Yeah.
It also could be something you want to plan with your family or something. It doesn't matter. But for just for the work, for our topic, it really, I like this idea.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to always remember, oh, what should I do now? Because you can always look at your list. Okay, that's one of my Friday finishers. I plan it. I schedule it on this and this day for this amount of time. And then when this time's done, I did it and finish.
Wow.
So I can...
That's interesting.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I really see that this makes a lot of sense. To, like you say, move the needle. And for me, then the question would be, what are the 3 most important things that have to be done until the end of the week? And that, by the way, reminds me of the book, The One Thing. Can you remember?
Oh, yeah.
When you saw it the first time here in one of my bookshelves, you were like, oh, can I read it? And I was like, yeah, of course, man. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because basically, it's the concept of the 3 Friday finishers, but it's only focusing on the one thing. What is the one thing that brings you forward the most? Now we could we could basically talk about the boundary that it needs, the boundaries on ourselves, and that we have to keep to the outside world to really be able to accomplish what we set our goals to.
Exactly, because when, for example, when you just have one thing for your Friday finisher, maybe it's a bigger thing, and then you have to schedule it for a few days, not only for one day, for a afternoon, because you have to split it because it's a big task.
It's a process.
It's a big task. Like maybe like we right now. Okay, we can share this transparent. We're working on our community right now, so we didn't do it.
Yeah, we're still on it.
We're still on it.
It's not like we didn't. We started.
We will do.
We're just not finished yet.
Exactly. So.
And it's Monday,
by
the way.
Exactly. For this example, we can use the Friday finisher idea to schedule it for this week until Friday or Saturday. We have finished build up our community on school, for example, or for the next week also. So we have to break it down in the few steps it needs until then when we want it to finish.
All right. Now that's our goal for this week. By the way, we commit in front of this podcast episode.
But this podcast episode will be out in a few weeks.
So that just means when you hear this, we must have completed this. If we haven't completed this, you guys will be able to be like, now who is responsible for that again?
And you can control and check if we did it or not in the link in the description and get aware, look at it on our community. And when you see it, it looks great. And it looks like you want to build something in there, then we did it.
Pressure
if
is on.
not, then not.
The pressure is on.
We will do.
Oh, that
we committed right now.
That brings a nice question to my mind, which I want to ask you now. What do you do when the pressure of having to do something, because it's not only for yourself, but because maybe we have these big goals, right? So basically we set ourselves some expectations to fulfill for others to be able to use our community platform where they can find their own boundary body. And basically what we now have to do is basically setting up all the formats and what we are going to do with the people. We already talked about it many times, but we just haven't wrote it down. Now we got the team members, and we also need to delegate a few of these tasks to the team members. Now, how are you able to do things under pressure when you know it's not only for yourself, but you could disappoint the community?
That's a really good question, and I can't answer you this question because I don't have the experiences.
That's so honest.
So I'm still growing in this position right now. So I have to learn this too. My knowledge, I can say you my knowledge, but I didn't experience it. So
it's not out of a wisdom.
It's really exactly.
Right. Okay.
So
I like your answer.
I have to go through it first. Then I can answer you this question. But from my knowledge way, I could say you, then I just would split the task for everybody who must to be invited in this project, in this one thing we have to do.
Works on the community project.
Exactly. And then split the tasks, and everybody has a deadline. Everybody have to do his thing until then. And then when the deadline is, everybody comes together again, and we watch the end result and what we have to do next.
Right.
That's what my knowledge would say to me. But in practice, I would say it's always look a little bit different because some tasks will come in between and somebody will distract you. Exactly.
Life hits us with distraction.
So I think I would say the most important thing for your question is communication.
Yeah. Cool, man.
The transparent communication, because
transparency,
exactly, because when you don't have this, you maybe will disappoint the whole team because you didn't communicate when you can't do the task until then. And it's okay, but it's only okay when you did your best for the task. When you just lay back and say I can't do this until then no,
Yeah, it's all about communication again.
And it's a team,
Yeah.
right? So we want to build a team
Yeah.
here.
We are building a team.
We are building
We
a
already
team.
built a team.
Exactly.
That's so crazy how fast it actually went forward.
I want to throw back the question: how would you do it?
Oh wow.
Because you have a lot more experiences in this way,
Yeah.
but I'm really interested. How would you master this task?
Oh wow. So building something for a community under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, the reason why I asked this question is because over the past 7 years I've worked over 2,000 hours with people on multiple projects. I've been their coach, their mentor. I've went with them through their problems, and so basically I could learn a lot out of it, especially from watching or observing people working under pressure when it's not only for them, and also observing myself how I work when I have the pressure on myself because there are some expectations on me which I have to basically fulfill when I gave my commitment. And here's one really important point for me. So when I commit to something, then that's the pressure on myself, because for me integrity is a value that is very important to myself.
Can I ask you something
Yeah.
here? Is it what kind of a pressure is it? Is it a enforcing pressure, a good pressure for reaching this deadline, or is it a social pressure? You have to do it, and I'm overwhelmed. What kind of a pressure is it? Because based on study, on psychologic, on
Mm-hmm.
yes, setting deadlines is it's a basement of motivation.
Yeah.
So it's a good motivation.
Yeah.
It's a good pressure, but for some people who maybe are weak in this pressure, this could be a bad kind of a
Yeah.
pressure. What's for you?
Oh yeah, so for me personally, I love deadlines.
Mm.
I kind of need the deadline stress
Mm.
to really perform to my maximum, to my best. When you say to me, until tomorrow, 2 o'clock, you committed to do this, I'm gonna move mountains. Because that's how I work.
Mm.
Because I know, wow, the less time I have, the more creative I get, the more efficient I am, the more time you give me for a task when we are doing something in a teamwork, the lazier I am. Because I need the deadline. When I know, oh shit, there's only 24 hours left, or there's only 72 hours left. That's basically when things start to move in my own body. It's around 72 hours before a project hits the deadline. That's when my inner machine starts working. Until then, I'm basically waiting for divine timing. So I don't have a problem with the pressure, because I know under the pressure, diamonds are built under pressure. It's just from my observation that I saw a lot of people, the pressure is not the right thing for them. They need a lot of time in advance. They will think it through. They will do it step by step. They plan ahead. They split things up into nice chunks, bites they can take step by step. And for me, the less time I have for a project to finish, the faster and the better it'll be. That's crazy. That's just how I function. But here comes the thing, when there's other people involved, and because I just said, right, fuck perfect, I have this little perfectionist inside of me, I know, especially when others are involved. And then I just really want to make the best out of the best, and even when I did the best and I know it's the best I can do, I am questioning, is this really the best? And that's when I start to run circles. And if I wouldn't have a boundary body, which would be like, hey dude, man, that's freaking genius what you gave to us, if you wouldn't stop me somewhere, I'd run in circles until I'd go mad, maybe.
Okay.
Now, it hasn't happened yet in our teamwork, but this is just from my observations about myself from the past.
So maybe it could be at one time when we do a task together, that you getting in this thought pattern and bring yourself, your mood by yourself down. So
no, it's not that I bring my mood down. It's just that I don't find an end. I can't stop myself. And you know what? It's actually great that you ask these questions to me, because this question, because now you heard that.
Mm.
Now this is basically the awareness about a boundary which you can help bring me out of a pattern.
Exactly.
I'm not like circling myself down because I don't have negative
Thoughts.
thought patterns anymore. I'm past that shit. Been there, done that. Why would I hurt myself with negative thought patterns? Why would you, man? Fuck. Why do we hurt ourselves with negative thought patterns? By the way, just general question. Obviously, because it's trained, it's programmed, but that's not the matter of topic. So now that you know this, and if you would see messages coming from me every hour, you know, I just had another idea on top of that, and now I did this, and then 1 hour later again, oh, and I had this idea. Now that's a good point where you could be like, get a rest, stop it.
Okay.
You already did the work.
Mhm.
Stop it. Let's look at it when the deadline is reached.
And guys, this here right now, this situation, what you now heard from him, that's exactly the example from a boundary body. Because he's now telling me how he wants to be treated when he gets stuck in this pattern and these situations. Because now I know and I'm aware of it, how I can speak to him through this pattern, that he's getting back aware, so that he can stop himself and step back from the project or the tornado who's inside in this moment. And that's exactly the magic that you have when you're getting a boundary buddy. Because when you do that alone, it's you can train it, right? But with someone by your side, it's much easier. It's much easier. And I'm thank you for this, that you said this to me, because now I know what I have to do when this kind of example will get in real.
And I'm really grateful that you take notice of that, and now that I already told you how I would react, you can basically stop me. Because what would otherwise happen, I know myself, I'm a pretty extreme person. So when I'm in this pattern of not knowing when to stop, I am working for so long. It could take 20 hours of me without stopping to work, and then I just start to burn out. So what would happen the next time you would talk to me and I'm still in this overheated moment, I'm just a lot easier to trigger then. I'm not in my peace state anymore, which is why I ask you in advance if I should start to give more ideas after I'm already finished with the task. Tell me to stop, take a rest, because then I can function at my best again after I rest. It's just when this happens, it's really hard to stop myself, because one part of myself is like, wow, I got this amazing energy, and now I got this creative flow, and oh my god, I could do that, I could do that, I could do that. And then I'm gonna start with that, I'm gonna start with that, I'm gonna start with that, but I'm not really finishing anything.
That's nice for the short term.
Yeah, but it's not really bringing us, it's not the most efficient, which is why I love efficiency. It's another value of mine, which is very important. And now you can basically remember me. Hey, you like efficiency, right? And I know you enough because you told me when you start to go into this pattern of not knowing when to stop, that you are not as efficient as you could be. And that's why rest is very important for me. I just need sometimes people to tell me how, or not how to rest, but when to rest.
I'm here, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Wow, I love this example for the podcast right now. I really love it.
I kind of feel stressed right now because I opened myself up. But thank you so much, man.
Yeah, of course, no problem. So I want to give an example about our topic for people who are not solopreneurs, who are still working 9 to 5 at a job with a boss and their co-worker. We talked about before the podcast started about that when bosses something
you mean when a boss gives you a task?
Yeah, exactly. When the boss gives you a task and you think you have to do it instantly. And I know from my experiences that in my past I was exactly the same. I was exactly the same. When my boss came to me and asked me for a favor, or I should do this when I'm finished with my task that I'm doing right now, do this, and I was like, okay, I do it right now. So I was instantly distracted on the task I did in this moment. So I lost time, I lost energy, and I lost focus on the tasks what I did in this moment because I later had to refocus on this task again with less energy and less time until work time's over. So for our topic today, boundaries at work, that's a point where you can set boundaries for your time and energy and also for the trust to your boss. Because when you say to your boss, okay, I will do this task after I finish this one, and you really do it, then the trust to your boss it getting really bigger and deeper because your boss now knows when you say you do it later, you will do it later.
Yeah.
But you have to speak up first
Yeah.
that your bosses know that you do it. But when you just run through the whole day and do this and this and then this, you're never getting done anything
Yeah.
and not in your best energy.
Yeah.
So it was when I did a little bit of the research, I was like, "Wow, crazy! I really see myself in this." Not anymore,
No.
because now I have the awareness of okay, it really stresses me out
Yeah.
because it was a pattern of people pleasing in this moment.
Yes, it
A
is.
deep pattern of people pleasing, and I wouldn't say I'm over it right now, but I'm really in the process right now of getting aware of it and know my patterns, getting aware of my patterns, and I know that a lot of people out there, especially for the people who's watching and listening, I know a lot of people are also in this pattern, maybe caged in this pattern.
Yeah.
So it's really important to set a boundary and speak up for yourself
Yeah.
because it's your time. Also, when it's time for your boss that you're getting paid, but it's also your time because you are getting paid for this and it's your energy. And when you don't respect it, you lose it.
Yeah.
So I will ask you what you think about this.
Well, the last time I had this situation was, I experienced the same. When I was still working as a graphic designer, we always had this deadline stuff, and when the boss came to me, I also felt the urge, oh shit, I have to do this right now because this is when the boss comes to me and he asks something, this might be more important than what I do right now. And this just brought me to the situations of unnecessary discussions with the boss because how do I say that?
What you want to say?
Ich möchte sagen, wenn ich bin eher unachtsam geworden bei dem, was ich gemacht habe.
Unaware?
Yeah, no, it's not not about unawareness. It's just when I switched the tasks, I lost the focus, and because of that, I made failures and mistakes that could have been
Saved
yeah,
or not done?
Yeah, not done. Sorry, we're not fluently in English, but
We're learning.
that could have been saved. I wouldn't had to do that mistake if I was just focusing on that task first and really right away communicate. Thank you for communicating. I will do this right after the task I am right now. Because I had these discussions with the boss where I then had to tell him why I made this mistake, and I was like, in reality, I was just so stressed when he came because I was like, oh no, maybe I did something wrong now, because that's
too.
basically what was programmed into my mind. Whenever the boss would come and ask for a task, I would first expect that I did something wrong, which is my fault. That was my nervous system that was stressed out, and I had to reframe that. I had to let the grip off of that, and now it's really 10 years ago already. What the fuck?
Crazy.
Oh my god, time goes so fast. I experienced a lot in the past 7 to 8 years since I stopped working as a graphic designer. But yeah, nowadays I do it when I got the time and the capacity, and I just communicate it. I had the times where I didn't communicate it and was just like, I'm not even feeling the need to communicate when to do, because I can decide for myself. But since now we are doing teamwork, and the team is growing, and we want to expand into all the into all the countries, there needs to be clear boundaries and a clear communication, a clear language. We all speak the same. Or if we are not understanding the language of the other self, then at least ask, what does this boundary mean to you? How does this work for you? Because only then we can really accept us the way that the other self works.
Asking questions, right?
Asking questions, yeah.
It sounds so easily, but it's for most of the people really hard,
Yeah.
because they have a big lack of interest
Yeah.
in people,
Yeah.
because the focus of them are so deep on themselves.
Always, man.
Always.
Everyone, most of the time, only cares for himself. Even when he does something for someone else, in reality, he still thinks about the things and the feelings and the emotions that he gets for it. Let's say someone gives you attention. You help someone, and they are like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And the people pleaser in someone else is like, yeah, I'm such a good person. They define themselves about helping someone else, because now they can go out into the world and say, I'm such a good person. I helped this person go over the street. That's what I say when I tell you most of the people, they just really care about themselves. And it's so important that we step out of our ego and be like, hey, what does this actually mean to you? And it's only by asking the questions and not coming from a standpoint of, oh, I think I know what you think or what you mean, that we can actually learn and grow together as one. So important. Holy shit. How did we even get here to this topic now?
I don't know, but I love it.
Yeah, man. It's really interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So I brought some tools with
Yeah.
for the people who's listening and watching for setting boundaries at work.
Yeah.
Do you know from your experiences as you worked as a graphic designer, did you learn some tools, or through your time as a solopreneur, did you learn some tools for setting boundaries at your work?
Well, the only tool that I learned back then was the Pomodoro technique.
80-20?
Yeah, the 80-20 technique. And basically chunking my time. 45 minutes of focus followed by 5 to 10 minutes of pause and rest. Do that 4 times, and after the 4th time of 45 minutes, pure focus, get a bigger pause for 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, the 20-80 is the...
That's the Pomodoro technique, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the time blocking for you.
Yes.
Okay.
But nowadays I don't work like this. I really just got to know myself in a very deep way, which is why when I observe myself getting into this over perfectionist state, that's where I still need help. That's why I told you. And you know what? It felt very uncomfortable. It felt uncomfortable.
I know. I saw your body language.
Oh God! I feel stressed out inside. But yeah, we
So-
just want to be real. And by the way, I love your real answer that you gave to us, where you were like, I have no idea because I'm just growing into this. But I want to throw this question back to you, because you made great research. And just when we came here, you shared one technique with me, and it was like, damn, I didn't know. Why didn't I know that? So please share that with the people.
The tool I was talking to you was the 2-minute rule, I guess I wrote it. Yes, 2-minute rule for requests. So how this works, it just works when somebody wants something from you, expects something from you, like a task from your boss or something. When the task would only take 2 minutes, then you do it right now. And when it takes longer than 2 minutes, then you schedule it for later. So that you don't have to refocus on your task that you're doing right now, so that you protect your time and energy again.
Yeah.
But when it only takes 2 minutes or under 2 minutes, you can do it instantly, because otherwise it will be a thought in the back of your head that you think about the whole day, and you don't want to forget it, and it's wasting a lot of energy to you. So I give you an example for the normal situations you have through the day. Like your trash is full, and it takes under 2 minutes to take it out, close it, bring it out maybe, and do a new one inside.
Yeah.
Maybe it takes 3 minutes, okay,
Yeah.
but you get what I mean.
Yeah, it's done.
Exactly,
Then
but
it's
when
just
you
done.
but when you always open the trash and see it's full again, it's full, and you press it down, maybe
That's
close it,
That's
and
me.
go away with a thought of, oh, I have to do this later. It always stucks in your head. Maybe you aren't aware of it, but it's wasting energy from you.
Oh, okay.
And also when you then think, oh, I don't have to forget this, then it's wasting more energy from you.
Yeah.
So you're less focused on the other tasks you do through the day.
Yeah.
You're less intentional, you're less energized,
Mhm.
and the more of these little things, of these little to-dos you stack through the day, through the week, the less energy, the less focus you have. And that's crazy, because in my past it was crazy for me, because I had a lot of open doors, I said this, but I didn't finish the task, I didn't finish the to-dos, I didn't close the doors.
Yeah.
So I was always, oh, I have to remember to this one, I have to remember this to do. But the real tasks, I had to focus on the situations through the day. I wasn't intentional there, I wasn't energized there, and my focus wasn't already there. It was on the to-dos I had to do. And I can't forget. So 2 minute rule, just do it right now. And if it takes longer than 2 minutes, schedule it for later. So you can forget, you can throw the thought out of your head because you schedule it on your calendar.
Yeah.
And you don't forget it.
Makes sense. I do something similar just to get the stuff off my mind, and it's to just write it out on paper somewhere. When we got to the place where we got our podcast sofa, we got a new podcast sofa, another one.
Maybe you will see it in the next episode.
Yeah, maybe in the next episode or in the episode after.
Exactly.
Because there's many places here in the loft where we can film. We had this situation where it was like, okay, take the notebook and just please write these things out, because then I can let go.
Yeah, we talked a lot in the car.
yeah, we talk a lot in the car, and that's basically my method of getting the baggage in the mind off, and then being free again to think different or think other stuff, or have new creative ideas about other things. That's interesting, but I really love the 2 minute method. Thanks for sharing so much. I really think it's gonna help a lot of you guys, because I already see myself using this, because I have this pattern of collecting envelopes and they just stack up to a certain point, and then I'm like, okay, I have to do this now, and then it's gonna take 10 to 15 to 20 minutes just going through all the envelopes and doing what is needed, instead of just taking it up open. Just do it, because it takes less than 2 minutes. It would save so much energy actually, and I really see myself using this technique from today on.
Okay.
Thanks for
Really
sharing,
nice.
man.
Of course.
No.
Because you have to do it either way.
Yeah,
It doesn't
at
matter
some point
when you
we
do
have
it,
to.
so do it right now.
Yeah, well, no, that's my inner being is like, I don't have to if I don't want to, because I can decide for myself.
Yeah, because I know you can't do it.
Yeah, because I know I'm sovereign, and the sovereign man decides for himself when he wants to do what, but he has to be aware about what has to be done and what doesn't have to be done, and that's just about a mindset thing. Great. What else, man? What else can you give us?
Yeah, I really connected the 2 minute method with scheduling.
Okay.
So I had these two separate tools, but when you connect it, it's simple. Because when it takes more than 2 minutes, you schedule it,
Yeah.
so you can forget it, and you can do it then when you schedule it.
Oh, nice.
And another tool, what I wrote down, it's just what we talked about in one of our podcasts, in the third podcast, I guess. It's just the art of saying no.
Yeah.
Because when somebody has an expectation from you at work and wants that you have to do it maybe right now, and you don't have the energy or the time, the capacity to do it right now, then you say no.
Yeah.
After you can say, yes, I will do it after my task right now. Okay, but first you say no,
Yeah.
because that's a first of all, full sentence,
Yeah.
and then it's a clear statement for the person who is expecting something from you, because they know then, okay, the person here hasn't the capacity to do it right now, what I'm expecting from her.
Yeah.
So, yes. But also, it has to takes real courage to say no to your boss, for example. But then you can say, no, I will do it later. So I don't do it right now, I do it later. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's a normal, that's a situation that comes every day, maybe. And it's okay to say no. It's okay. Nobody will hurt you. Not even your boss.
And if so, go out, man.
Go. If so,
Get a new job.
I don't hope so,
Mate.
but crazy.
Yeah, man. Never work at someone that isn't really valuing your energy and time. That's just my view.
Mhm.
Why would
So,
you?
for the finishing part to this episode, what would you say, or what would you give as an advice to the person who's listening or watching for this topic, that they can, yeah, really practice in their day?
Like on boundaries at work.
Exactly.
Okay, so for me, it's the question that I use for myself. How can I be more efficient? And what boundaries haven't I've been aware yet? Which one do I need? How can I communicate them? And to whom do I have to communicate them? And that's now multiple questions, obviously. So maybe you'll just go back a few seconds, write these questions down, and really take the time to journal about that.
I will add something to your questions.
Yeah, please.
I will go a step further before your questions
Mhm.
and say, journal about it, or ask yourself what triggers you at work, from whom, why it triggers you, and ask yourself, it's maybe a place where you have weak boundaries. Journal these questions down, write these questions down. Maybe you have to go back a few seconds and then add the questions he said, and you have a full stack of questions you can journal about and really learn and practice how to set boundaries at work.
Yeah.
Right?
That's great, man. Love it. Love it. And I'd say let's finish this episode with that, because that's a lot of questions you can work on. And basically you can sit for the next week just with these questions. That's why I'm gonna do the outro in a very sexy way. Alright, my friends. Before we wrap up, let's lock in what we've talked about today. Remember, boundaries aren't there to shut people out. Especially at work, they're very important to really keep your energy flowing. That's my words.
And your focus.
And your focus. They're about protecting your energy, your time, and your values. When you set boundaries, you're saying yes to the life you deserve. That's powerful, right? I'd say so. Now, here's your challenge for this week. Take 10 minutes to write down the questions. Maybe even answer them.
We told you.
Yeah, maybe even answer them already, or plan them ahead for the week, so that you can really work on the boundary topic. And then find out what boundaries might need attention and work on them. It's bringing you so much benefits in all areas of your life. And hey, if this episode resonated with you, we'd love you to share it with the people that need to hear this. But also, we'd love to hear your stories. What boundaries at work have been crossed, or what experiences could you gather during your work life so far that could also benefit other listeners? So we would love to see you engage with our content, share it, like it, give us a follow. We are still at the beginning. We are building up a huge thing, and we will need you. But if you're going to join us or not, it doesn't really matter, because we're going to do it anyway. Right? We're not going to be perfect right now, because we are like fuck perfect. We'll just get better from podcast episode to podcast episode, from week to week to week. And at this point, I just want to thank you for spending this time with us. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for really listening and tuning in. Thank you for being a follower or not. And yeah, I'd say until next week. Ciao
Until
for
next
now.
week, bye from the Boundary Talk.
Yeah, bye from the Boundary Dog. Toodaloo.